You just said you must have been standing guard here last night too, right? Of course. Then during that time, did you see anything out of the ordinary? Yet. It's a very violent reaction. Susato? From the sound of it, I think he said Niet. Yeah, which means no. Everything was normal last night. Nothing unusual. What about any odd noises? Or anyone who looks suspicious? Oh! He's looking away! No. Everything was normal. Also the fact he's a violent reaction. Suspicious. Sorry. I wonder though. Was it just me, or did Mr. Stroganoff glance away for a second there? Yes, he did. It's time to end this little chat. Huh? I must make a routine report to the captain. You should return to cabin as well. Alright. Door to the second-class cabins is firmly locked and secured. Do not bother trying to escape. It is not possible. I understand. Alright, time to examine, I guess. Now let's investigate to our heart's content. Absolutely. Right, time to examine everything. We have the map of the ship. It's a diagram of the ship, the SS Al Claire. A 3-deck structure with so many cabins, one might call this a technological marvel. Actually, I've always wondered, how does such a gigantic hunk of steel manage to float in the ocean without sinking? Oh yeah, more than likely. It's only 2:30 PM for me. So I more than likely will be streaming later. I know I stream at awful times for everybody that wants to watch, but I'm sorry. I don't have a schedule, I just stream when I want to. Or more so, I record when I want to. I find it much more fun that way. If I put it on a schedule, then I wouldn't say it makes it feel like a job, because it's not. It's still a hobby, but it's just much better to stream when I want to, as opposed to be on a schedule and then not feel up to recording at those times, and then disappointing people because I don't want to stream when I said I would, etc. Either way, I'm ranting. It's actually rather simple if you think about it. Huh? Well, think about the islands of Japan. What about them? Even a massive hunk of land like an island floats without effort. So if you're not surprised that the islands float, then why be surprised that ships do? Oh, I see. That's a pretty good point. Okay, that was brief. What is this? A menu? Oh, it's a ledger book. Yeah, ledger book. Menu. Yeah, basically the same thing. I can see an old, oversized ledger book and a pen on that desk over there. Apparently it's some kind of logbook. Well, shall we take a look inside then? Wow, everything about this voyage is detailed in such beautiful writing. Yeah, I never thought these old sea dogs could have such lovely handwriting. Yeah, this is odd. It looks like the page for last night, it's almost completely blank. So in other words, the crew members noticed nothing out of the ordinary last night. Okay, that's suspicious. May as well examine the door, why not? This door leads to the second-class cabins. What's wrong? I have such a strong urge to run through there and just get out of here. I'm not in the best of situations right now, as you can see. That's true, but you also know that the moment you dare touch the handle, that brawny sailor won't hesitate to shoot you to death. Did that joke go too far? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. No, I was the one who took my joke too far. In the end. All jokes aside though, I could never just flee and leave Asugi's death unsolved. You can't do that to a friend. Okay, we have a fire alarm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd say having a schedule is... it's easier to maintain consistent viewers, because they know when you'd be streaming because it's on a schedule, but I much prefer just not having a schedule and streaming when I feel up to it. Because there are moments when I will stream and I don't feel too great. And so I just end up scrapping that recording or whatever. So it's just easier to stream when I know I actually want to. What is this? It's nice and round, and it kind of adds a cute touch to the hallway. I think that's a fire alarm. Oh. Emergency alarm. That makes more sense. It's an emergency alarm. Please, don't touch it. Emergency alarm. Look right here. There's a notice. Please press button only in case of emergency. This button sends an alarm to the entire ship, signaling the engines to temporarily stop. It makes the engines stop. Maybe... What are you doing? Get away from that. What? How is what's happening to me right now not an emergency? That clearly isn't the kind of emergency they mean. If you push that button and cause panic, we'd have a real emergency on our hands. Oh, I wish I could just stop everything happening to me right now. Is that a mousetrap? Please don't inconvenience an entire ship of people just because you're upset. That looks like a mousetrap. That's a massive mousetrap. Maybe it's a rat trap. There's a trap that's used to capture rodents. Oh hey, I've seen these in Japan too. This one looks like it uses bait and a sticky substance that I've never seen before though. Let's see. The bait is a food called cheese, a Western staple made from fermented milk. Cheese? I wonder what it tastes like. Oh God, how would you explain... I was going to try and explain how cheese tastes, or the taste of cheese, but I can't. What does cheese taste like? It tastes like cheese. I'm bad at describing shit anyway, but yeah, I can't describe that. I see that curious look. Don't try to eat it, or you'll only get your fingers pinched. Aw, guess I'll just give up. The rats are like the rats from Parasite Eve, I guess. Were you actually planning to eat it? Well, yeah. All I ever got was Asugi's leftovers, after all. I was always jammed in that wardrobe with an empty stomach. I'll give you some snacks I brought later on. Oh, that's nice of you. I guess that's where we came from. That's where we want to go. I'll examine both. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Did not want me to examine it. First class, cabin 1. Cabin 1. This is our room. It was never your room, it's Kazuma's room. Huh? The only space you can really claim as your own in there is the wardrobe. Yeah, and it was so cramped that I could barely even fit inside. That's the life of a stowaway. Speaking of first class, they're the nicest, most spacious cabins in the ship. By the way, while this is cabin 1, I was all the way down in cabin 539. Just how many cabins does this ship have? Several thousand, I guess? A whole lot. Right, this is where we want to go. Here it is. This is the cabin adjacent to Asugi's, the one with the connecting air duct. And that air duct was where Kazuma saw the speckled band, apparently. We still might be able to solve that mystery. Let's try to talk to whoever's inside. Won't it just be Sherlock? Jesus. That's hardly a knock. Who is it? Room service. They didn't answer. I don't think we're going to be able to ask any questions about the room right now. Maybe they're not in there. Yeah, this is inconvenient. Bloody hell. What was that voice just now? It came from inside this cabin. It can only be the tearful, innocent scream of a maiden in distress. Out of the way, you lot. Oh. I shall kick down that door post-haste. Mr. Holmes. Right now I am absolutely brimming with the intense desire to kick down this door. But please, stay your leg just for just a moment. This door appears to be unlocked. Oh. Seriously? Well then, where exactly am I supposed to vent this urge to kick something? That aside, let's go inside. This is an emergency. There's no time to waste. Ooh. Ninth of January, SS Al Claire, first class cabin 2. Why is it not the number? Cabin number 1 was just the number. Oh, what the f... Wait a minute. No, you aren't him. You don't look much like a cartoon villain. Shit, wrong thing. It could be him. He's got the hat and the beard. No, it's not him. Definitely not him. He has a much longer face. What do you want with me? That Western gentleman appears to be Russian. Excuse me, we just heard what sounded like a young woman's scream coming from this room. Scream? Stop your silly talk. Oh, he's got scissors. As you see, I am the only one in this cabin, no one else. Wait, where's the vent? He's right, this old guy is the only person in here. But what on earth was that scream then? Oh, the vent's above the bed, I think? Oh, the rooms are like mirrored. So, yeah, the bed will be in the same place. Or on the... essentially, directly on the other side of the wall of cabin 1. Leave now, all of you. Now! Pardon me, Mr. Grimsby Rowlett, I presume? That doesn't sound Russian. Grimsby. Yes, I am Rowlett. Who are you? Sherlock Holmes, the one and only. Surely my reputation precedes me. Never heard of him. I am the Great Detective. My name adorns magazine covers all across the British Empire. And so, I am certainly no manner of suspicious individual, as you can see. He's using that magazine like some kind of business card. Detective. Even more suspicious. We are certain that we heard a scream originating from this very room. It is readily apparent that no one is hidden within your wardrobe, therefore... Yeah, there's totally a person hidden inside that small trunk over there. If it's not too much of a bother, may I open that small trunk over there? Stop this silliness. This trunk is very, very small. You think there is a person inside? I was going to say that the bag next to the door. Well, if recent trends indicate anything, packing people into luggage is quite popular. Please stop looking at me. Oh, wait. It's a dog. It's a dog. Gotta be a dog. Or a cat. Maybe a dog. Did you see that, Naruhodo? Yes, I think I did. The trunk moved, didn't it? It's either a very small person, so like a child, or a dog. All of you, leave. Now, if you do not, I call the sailors. Grimsby Rowlett. He stayed in the cabin directly next to Asugi's. This Russian man has to be hiding something. Yeah, it's a dog. Yes, my thoughts exactly. We must find some sort of lead before that sailor returns. I want to look at what the dog was. I still don't even know if it is a dog. Oh, Sherlock. Why? Excuse me. Mr. Sherlock Holmes? Ah, please. Just Mr. Holmes is fine. That's not any less formal. Mr. Holmes, what are you doing in there anyway? Oh, not much. Just making myself at home. The Russian guy is most certainly the most suspicious. At home? I'm just passing the time, imagining how it must have felt to be crammed in there. Waiting for the moment when the two of you beseech the aid of a great detective. What? Well now, it would seem that that time has finally come. Am I mistaken? Well, he's certainly not wrong. Now look over there. That Russian gentleman, Mr. Rowlett, is clearly hiding something in his pocket. And what would be the best countermeasure against a Russian who's hiding something? The answer, of course, would be... the truth. Oh. I thought it was going to be like... something else. A Spaniard showing something. Indeed, that doesn't apply to Russians alone. It applies to everything. The truth is... the truth. The truth is what we always seek. Right. But I wonder what that Russian man would do if his hidden secret were to be exposed. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out? I would love to, Mr. Holmes. Yeah, vodka too. Yeah, it probably is. Allow me to show you something intriguing. Something only a great detective can do. A great detective's great deduction! Yeah! That's this game's gimmick. Although I shouldn't use the word gimmick. Mechanic. Because gimmick makes it sound like a bad thing. As you can clearly see, here we have a classic. I like how a suspicious looking Russian is classic. What? Sometimes I wonder to myself, are suspicious people inherently Russian? Or are Russian people inherently suspicious? That's borderline offensive. I don't think either one is the case. And if I may add, Mr. Holmes, no matter how much the beard and the dark glasses might seem to suggest it, I'm not sure they're grounds enough to outright label someone as suspicious. Shh, quiet now. Why do you look at me like this? Oh, the Ace Attorney is incredible. They are absolutely incredible games. And if you've never played them, I wholeheartedly recommend all of them. They're so good. It's easily up there in like my top favourite series ever. And I've been playing the games back to back. I started last year. Or was it 2 years ago? I can't remember. I started at some point. And I've been doing them back to back since. It's been great fun. I see. Yes, I understand now. What? At last, the truth becomes clear to me. There is no room for doubt. Now then, Mr. Roylott, I've arrived at 2 conclusions. Number 1, you are suspicious. Number 2, you are Russian. What do you mean? First, conclusion number 1. Your true identity... Simply put, you are a villain. You were just about to cut short something very important to you using those scissors. Oh, I wonder if it's the newspaper article. In which case, he looks nothing like him. Like, I did say this to begin with, I thought it was Dmitri. Dmitri Demidemida. I can't remember his name. It doesn't really look like him, though. This article is in Russian, I can't read it at all. Me neither. I don't speak a lick of Russian. Maybe it's a fake beard. I'm disappointed in you two, allow me. Front page of this paper features an article about a frightening man. Revolutionary flees Russia, believed to be en route to Shanghai. Yes, you mentioned that earlier. It's been said that none who have seen that beard of his has returned alive. No, he has far too much facial hair for this to be him. My, how awful. But he does have the furry hat. At the very least, whoever took this picture was just fine. If he's truly so averse to his beard being seen, he'd do well to shave it off. I don't think that's the issue here. Oh, I was about to say, I can't see his head. Oh, shit. That was about the article, wasn't it? Cut short with the scissors. Okay, that's fine. Am I mistaken? Ah. I wonder if it is him. It could be a fake beard. Or mustache. I've no idea. On to conclusion number 2. At this very moment, you have been caught red-handed in the midst of a nefarious deed. By now you must be shaking under that beard, panicking over if you've already been found out. Am I mistaken? Here it comes, Naruhodo. One of Mr. Holmes's great deductions. Great deductions? Mr. Holmes has a truly incredible talent. With only one look at a person, he can learn almost everything about them. As the Russian is a bit shocked. He's like, uh-oh. How in the world? No way, that's impossible. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I've read that book countless times. I can't believe I'm about to hear one of his great deductions firsthand. Oh, truly, it's like a dream come true. Susato is quite literally... She has the animations of Maya. She has the animations of Athena. It's so weird. No, truly, it's like a dream come true. I can't believe it. Mr. Roylott just turned white as a sheet. Somehow, it looks like those two conclusions hit the mark. How? How could you possibly know that? Is that what you were about to say? Hey, fun puns. How's it going? Very well. It's time for all to be revealed. Now, indeed. How, indeed, did this great detective before you arrive at these two conclusions? Come along now. Shall we embark together upon a journey of deduction? What I mean to say is that I'm asking you to tag along with my reasoning. Deduction start. The game is afoot. Oh, this is badass. Okay. Identity. Oh, this is so cool. Holy shit. Behold Mr. Roylott, the mysterious Russian. First let your eyes be drawn towards his. Towards this. This oversized pair of scissors, sticking out like a sore thumb. Now just what in the devil were you planning to do with those? With just a little observation, the answer becomes obvious. You intended to cut off your splendid beard with those scissors. That was a question mark, so I'm guessing that's wrong. Continuing on. Now then, why would you have such an urgent need to cut off that magnificent beard? That too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Have a look at this morning's newspaper. It contains a rather intriguing article. In fact, it appears that you too have seen the article of which I speak. Surely you must understand by now. The article inside reveals your true identity. The newspaper's revolutionary article. It's not him. Okay. Now I know that. Yeah, I thought they didn't look anything like. His face is too long. Revolutionary Dmitry Demoglaski, that was his name, flees Russia believed to be en route to Shanghai. As you can see, the picture clearly depicts that eye-catching beard of yours. Having seen the article, you plan to cut off your beard before the crew found you out. However, since you have yet to do so, your true identity remains clear. You are none other than the frightful, revolutionary Dmitry Demoglaski. Though with that said, I can't say I've ever heard of you. Conclusion. Defected revolutionary. This is so cool. Oh my god. Topic number 2, the crime. Next, we have my second deduction. I kinda wish that all the other games did this kind of thing. It's really cool. I like it. It seems to me that we have caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Now, as for the proof of that crime... Aha! It's right over there, is it not? The suitcase. As I expected, it appears that you have shown your hand, Mr. Roylott. When people are taken by surprise, they tend to reflexively shift their gaze. Ooh. It is a classic tell, more eloquent and powerful than mere words could ever convey. Ah yeah, the case. Yes, our answer lies directly in your line of sight. So carelessly directed. The proof of your crime. Elementary. Dear Watson, it's that trunk. So every time it pops up with a question mark, that's, I'm guessing, something that's incorrect. And we have to counter that with what we think, maybe? I think it's about time that you opened this trunk and showed us what's inside, No, I am refusing. Exactly what do you have hiding in there? From what I can see, Were you to apply enough force, I think you'd be able to fit a small girl inside. Wait, you're not trying to think it's the ballerina? Nowhere. That is silly. A young girl stuffed into a trunk. Just who might she be? Ah, good grief. You're not much of a criminal, are you? Your line of sight betrayed your secret so easily. Just now, without a second thought, you took a glance at our answer. The newspaper. Yeah, it is the ballerina. The reason why you can't open that trunk can again be found in the newspaper. In truth, it seems that there is yet another intriguing article published in these pages. Rather than looking at the article about the revolutionary, flip to the reverse page. Beautiful flower of the prestigious Novovich ballet company goes missing. There is only one logical conclusion. You kidnapped her. The crime you were in the very midst of committing is abduction. Abduction? Kidnap? Pretty much the same thing. According to the article, the girl's name is Nikomina Borchevich, or something. Okay, so there's topic number 2. Kidnapped ballerina. So now do we counter these? I really hope we do. And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed. Okay. I really hope there's more to that. There probably is. Susato? Is this really a great deduction? It's flashy. It looks pretty badass. I think so. I read all about them in his book. Though his great deductions just now were a little different than usual. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Holmes. Could you come over here for a moment? What can I do for you? I wanted to ask about your reasoning there. Yes, by all means. What's on your mind? Well, let me start with this newspaper. I didn't think I'd have to repeat myself, but here we are. Oh, there we go. These two men's faces are nothing alike. They look completely different. I didn't expect to repeat myself either, but here we are, indeed. We're dealing with a revolutionary. Who's to say he didn't revolutionize his own face? He used that with us. Oh god. At the very least, I suppose he looks more like the picture than you do, Naruhodo. That's not the point. Besides that, there's something else. That bit about abduction. Ah yes, truly a shocking turn of events, isn't it? At first glance, I wouldn't think that a girl could fit inside that trunk. Actually, it's worse than that. It's clearly way too small to fit a person inside at all. You'd barely be able to close it, even if you stuff so much as a 5-year-old inside. Oh god. In that case, could the missing ballerina be a 5-year-old? Oh, didn't you know? She's actually... God, I've got the fucking hiccups. She's actually 15. No, Mr. Holmes, I had no idea. So if she's 15, then roughly 10 years... then roughly 10 years of her ought to be sticking out of that trunk. There's something I once heard somewhere a long time ago. In order to make their bodies more limber, some ballerinas would drink vinegar every day. Vinegar? Really? Indeed. With a body ripened by vinegar, fitting into a box like that should be no trouble at all. I think you're mixing up acrobats and ballet dancers. Ugh, this is such a mess. Naruhodo, about Mr. Holmes's reasoning just now. I think his observations are right on the mark, at least the foundations of what happened. It's just that the focal points and logic are just a little bit off. A little bit? Completely off, I'd say. If we take the most important keywords from his reasonings, and just discreetly replace a few of them here and there, we might just figure this out. So take the keywords from his deductions and replace them. Yes. Discreetly, mind you. If we can do that, then surely Mr. Holmes's great deductions will truly come to light. Indubitably. That's exactly what I was thinking. Wow, this great detective is a real piece of work. Well, it seems you've got your work cut out for you, thanks to me. You sure are laughing loud enough about it? Oh, and as for you, I almost forgot. Me? What is it? Take a look at your hands. My hands? I'm no longer cuffed. Whoa! The handcuffs are gone. What? This is... How did... I thought those cuffs might get in the way of your deductions, so I got them off in a jiffy. Huh? Amazing! I'd expect no less from the great detective Sherlock Holmes. How many times must we beat this drum?